This story is set in ancient India, yet its message resonates profoundly today. While our country is free and we can go wherever we choose, our minds are not truly liberated. We are physically free, but mentally, we are becoming slaves to our own thoughts, often suffering more from mental agony than any external hardship. The true story I am about to share will guide you in breaking free from the chains of your mind and finding peace amidst turbulent thoughts. Rohan's restless mind. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the lower Himalayas, lived a young man named Rohan. Known throughout the village for his quick temper and restless mind, Rohan was constantly consumed by his thoughts. This inner storm left him unable to find peace, and over time it felt as if peace had entirely vanished from his life. His mental turmoil strained relationships with his family and fellow villagers, leaving him isolated and humiliated. The more he tried to find solace, the more his distress grew. One particularly troubling day, Rohan decided to take a walk in a nearby garden, hoping to find some relief. He avoided speaking to anyone, as his mind was heavy with restless thoughts. In the garden, Rohan encountered some friends who noticed his despair. One of them suggested, "Why don't you visit the Buddhist monk who lives in the temple behind the mountain? He is very wise and might help you with your problems." Taking their advice to heart, Rohan decided to visit the monk the following morning. Meeting the monk. Early the next morning, Rohan arrived at the temple. He saw the monk watering plants amidst the tranquil atmosphere, filled with the melodic chirping of birds. The serenity of the temple was captivating, and the monk's peaceful demeanor drew Rohan closer. After finishing his task, the monk sat under a tree in meditation. His face radiated an immense peace that seemed to emanate from within. As Rohan approached, he felt surrounded by a positive energy he had never experienced before. When the monk finally opened his eyes, he saw the young man sitting before him, visibly tense and burdened with negative emotions. With a respectful and longing gaze, Rohan said, "O wise one, my mind is restless. My thoughts consume me, and I cannot find peace, even for a moment. I am always angry and get upset over the smallest things. Nothing feels right. Please, teach me how to calm my restless mind. Show me the way." Understanding Rohan's pain, the monk replied, "My dear child, it seems you have handed over the key to your mind to someone else. Now, you are a slave to it." Rohan, confused by the monk's words, asked, "Master, what do you mean by being a slave to the mind? What key are you referring to? Please explain this to me in detail." The monk smiled and said, "Rohan, let me share a story with you. Within it lies the secret to mental peace and happiness. Would you like to hear it?" Eager to find answers, Rohan nodded and leaned in, his curiosity heightened. The monk began. Once upon a time, there was a man named Arjun who lived in a town. Arjun was an ambitious individual who constantly sought approval and praise from others. When he succeeded or received praise, he was happy, but when faced with failure or criticism, he became anxious and stressed. Even trivial matters would worry him deeply. And thus, the monk unfolded a story that would change Rohan's life forever. The monk's story of Arjun. Arjun believed that success and material wealth were the keys to happiness. However, the more he pursued success and praise, the deeper he sank into mental stress. Whenever no one praised his work, he became upset and dissatisfied. One day, Arjun met a famous Buddhist monk, renowned for teaching meditation to thousands of disciples. This enlightened monk had mastered the art of inner peace. Arjun, captivated by the monk's remarkable focus and tranquility, asked him for guidance. "O wise one," Arjun said, "I am always chasing success and striving for more, yet I never feel satisfied. Even when I achieve something and people praise me, I still feel restless inside. My mind constantly wanders. Please teach me how to find peace and calm my restless mind." The monk, filled with compassion, replied, "Your mind is like a river, always flowing and never still. To calm your restless mind, you must learn the art of letting go. Let go of your thoughts and desires without resistance." Arjun, puzzled, asked, "But Master, how can I let go of my thoughts? I am so attached to my desires and ambitions." Smiling, the monk said, "Imagine you are holding a glass full of water. The longer you hold it, the heavier it becomes. Eventually, your hand will hurt. But if you loosen your grip and let it go, the burden is lifted." Rohan, listening to the story, realized how deeply he resonated with Arjun's struggles. He too clung to his thoughts and desires, constantly overthinking and agitating his mind. The monk continued his story, explaining that Arjun practiced letting go of his thoughts. He allowed them to come and go without clinging to them. When thoughts entered his mind, he did not try to stop them, but also did not let them take root. As a result, the thoughts faded naturally, like clouds passing through the sky. The monk further explained, "People unnecessarily give space to thoughts in their minds. The more you dwell on something, the deeper it takes root. Once a thought takes root, it becomes harder to remove. Life is like rain. Once it falls, it's done. Thinking it shouldn't have rained won't change anything. Similarly, if something bad has happened, dwelling on it only gives it power over your mind. Instead, let thoughts come and go without giving them a place to settle." He added, "Many people suffer because they overthink trivial matters. Arjun, you feel elated when people praise your work, but you feel terrible when they don't. This means you've handed over the key to your happiness to others. Even when someone praises you, the satisfaction is temporary, and you soon begin seeking more praise. This need for approval keeps you restless. If you rely on others for happiness, you will never be truly free. To find peace, take back control of your mind and keep your happiness within you. The world will always have something to say. It is its nature to disturb. The more you let it affect you, the more power others will have over you. Do not give the key to your inner peace to anyone else." The monk concluded, "Everything in this world is temporary. What is here today may be gone tomorrow. So why give permanent space in your mind to temporary thoughts? Free yourself internally, for inner freedom is just as important, if not more, than external freedom." Hearing the monk's wisdom, Arjun finally understood the root of his restlessness and the importance of letting go. Meanwhile, the monk finished his story and asked Rohan if he understood. Rohan sat silently, stunned by the profound wisdom he had just heard. After a long pause, he finally spoke. "Master, I have no more questions. I humbly request to stay here with you for a few days. Today, I've learned invaluable truths about life. I want to deepen my understanding and share this wisdom with others." And so, Rohan stayed with the monk, beginning his journey to inner peace and self-discovery. The story of Arjun and Rohan teaches us the art of letting go and reclaiming the key to our happiness. If you found value in this story, please share it with others and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. See you in the next story.